Hey guys, it's me Noah here with IntegralBricks. This time bringing you a video that I've wanted to do for a long time now. And it's showing off every single main series Star Wars walker that I have in UCS scale, which is a MOC. And for me, UCS scale here means basically minifigure scale. The only one that's not minifigure scale is going to be the AT-M6, which would be just way too big to build. So that's why it's not minifigure scale. So I have custom videos on, I think, each one of these walkers on my channel, so if you want to see an even more in-depth review on any of them, be sure to check it out. They're all going to be on my channel, so if you guys want to see those, definitely go look at them. But I guess I'll just start with the smallest walker and make my way to the largest. And the smallest is this Clone Wars AT-RT right here. So this little walker is used to just speed up troop movement in the Clone Wars show, and I believe it was in episode 3. It clips right into any base plate I have, so it's easily placed in MOCs, and I will be sure to place it in my next Clone Wars MOC, which is going to be announced very soon. So if you guys want to see that, definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see what I'm going to be building next. Some of these MOCs actually have minifigures on them to show you kind of what it looks like with scale, also because not all of them are enclosed MOCs. Like in this vehicle, the actual clone trooper would sit out and be exposed. It's mainly just used for reconnaissance, like I said before, so that's why you can see what the clone trooper would look like right there. Also on the ATTE that we'll talk about later, we have some minifigures on the gunner position and the AT-AP as well. So let's move on to the next MOC. The second smallest, I guess, is the AT-ST. This is a classic Star Wars MOC, and it was actually the first LEGO video I did on this channel, so it's got a lot of memories with me. I don't know which version this is right here because I've made a lot of changes to it. Most recently, the changes have been made to the legs, which now feature a lot more bulk and they're a lot more posable. So I really like this AT-ST. I think it came out great in this version, particularly. The head hasn't changed too much, and neither have the weapons on the side there. Like I said, most of the changes have happened in the legs, where we now have a whole bunch of new angles that can be made. As you can see right there, we have a little joint there, and then there's a whole bunch of new joints added to the leg to give it the overall shape. So it's pretty cool. Then moving backwards, we have actually my newest MOC. So if I take this AT-ST, I'll move it back so we can get a better view of the AT-AP, which is based heavily off of the Lego set, but I made a lot of changes to it because the colors were all scrambled around. I don't really know what they were doing there, but basically, it's got similar dimensions, so it's minifigure scale. We got the turrets, you know, they're all adjustable. Everything locks into place very nicely. It was a great build, really fun to do, and as you can see, there's also a minifigure on the top, which is one of the Saleucami troopers, who's operating the main cannon. And this thing is meant to be like a mobile artillery platform type of thing, so that's why it's heavily focused on the cannons, and they're very large compared to the actual walker. The legs have a little opening in the side, which I actually think is pretty cool. I thought it was a design mistake in the actual Lego set, but when I looked it up, it is meant to be like that. Also, there were a whole bunch of exposed blue parts in the actual Lego set, so I did my very best to get rid of them in every place that I can. There's only those ones that I just showed you there that are still remaining, so I don't really know why they did that, but I fixed it pretty easily. So let's move this guy back, start getting onto some of the bigger walkers right after we do the last medium size, which is the AT-DP from Star Wars Rebels. This was only seen in the cartoon Star Wars Rebels, and I like how it looks. There's not too much to say about it. It's a little bit taller than AT-ST, and it only has this one little turret right here. I am actually missing the ball piece for this side now that I look at it. I'm sure I have it somewhere in my collection, but I guess I forgot to put it on. You can see how all of these walkers compare to one another in size and also firepower, and that's kind of the point of this video, is to see what we have when we compare all the Star Wars walkers. And these are just the main series walkers. I know there's a ton of other walkers in the expanded universe and stuff like that, but these are just the ones in the main show and the main movies. So then these next ones are the very large walkers. We have the ATTE right here, which is an awesome set. As you can see in there, we got two yellow clones, which are the clone commanders. They're both in there piloting the ship. And then on the top, we have a turret gunner, as well as some clones hitching a ride in the back instead of walking. I did have this in a Geonosis mock recently, so if you guys want to see what it looks like in a proper mock, definitely go check that video out. I may place it on my next mock, which will be a Clone Wars mock, but I'm not exactly sure what planet it will be yet. Besides this walker being the only one with 6 legs, it actually has some of the most weapons, as you can see, because this was used during the Clone Wars when it was an all-out battle between the Republic and the Separatists, so they really needed to enforce as much firepower as they can onto their tanks. And this was the main series tank. Like, this was the Republic's go-to vehicle in the battles, so it's a very popular ship, and I really like how this mock came out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one here or if I'll move it to the floor before I show you guys the last 2 mocks. In order to get the best view, I think I should probably move that, so give me 1 second. Alright, now on to everybody's favorite walker, the AT-AT. Now this one I built a long time ago, but I've made some upgrades to recently, and you can see all those upgrades in my Endor mock video. But essentially, this AT-AT is the sum of several years of work and a lot of different trial and error strategies. I really like how it ended up. We have a whole bunch of different features on it. It does not have an interior because that's not really my style of Lego building. I don't really care too much about an interior. I only care about how it looks on the outside for large mocks. Then I try and make it look as professional as possible. So recently I added these hydraulic pieces here that connect to the legs. I've been trying to get more of these pieces, these 8x8 tiles, to replace up here. As you can see, I actually don't have the correct color. That's the old gray, but that's a very minor problem. This mock is probably my favorite mock that I ever had, and it's pretty apparent because I feature it in almost every large galactic Civil War era mock that I built, and I've made quite a few. So that's my AT-AT. Like I said, there will be extra videos on each one of these walkers on my channel. So if you guys want to see more in-depth review of any of them, definitely go check those out because I can't possibly cover everything right here in this video. And as I said, I need some more 8x8 tiles for this side because I don't have them yet. And luckily they haven't fallen over yet. Usually I lock them in place with some bricks down here, so let's get over to the AT-M6, which also has the possibility of falling over because it's not locked in just yet. But this is the AT-M6, is the only one that's not minifigure scale of my mocks. And that's just because it's a huge, massive vehicle in the Star Wars universe from The Last Jedi. Well, this one has a red window area, which I really like. I think that looks really cool. Not too much else to say about it. I mean, it's based heavily on the AT-AT. There's not too much different about it. I actually forgot to put the little canisters on the back, but they go there, and that's basically it. I like how it has a few different subtle changes to the AT-AT, like these little spikes that stop it from getting tripped up by the tow cables, a classic mistake of the AT-AT. And besides that, it's very heavily based on the AT-AT. Kind of like the AT-ACT, which I used to have, but in order to create the AT-AT again, I had to take it apart. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. This has been a comparison of all of the main series Star Wars walkers from the movies and the shows. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, please support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing with your friends. There's also a LEGO giveaway going on this channel right now, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe and like the video. A link to that will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys soon with the next video. But before I go, I want to let you know that there is a voting poll in this video where I ask about what planet you guys think I should be working on for the next Clone Wars era mock. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with the next one.